Britney Spears sparks concern with fans, delete Facebook starts trending, and Donald Trump's Atlantic City casino has been demolished. All of that and a lot more, but first, if you could please smash that like button, we would really appreciate your support. And with that out of the way, let's begin the InformOverload weekly roundup. First things first, let's talk about Trump's casino in Atlantic City being demolished. If you recall, we did a video about how a mayor was actually auctioning off a chance to hit the button, but despite making that promise, it was never actually fulfilled. The casino first opened in 1984 and was a massively successful spot that big celebrities would often host parties at, although the success didn't last very long and the casino would soon go bankrupt. Fast forward to 2009 and Donald Trump just decided to cut ties with them altogether. The casino would finally close their doors in 2014 after struggling with the reputation of the worst performing casino in all of Atlantic City. So for the last 7 years, this building has just remained empty and the local residents just had to watch this eyesore as bits of the building fell off in its state of disrepair. But finally, the building has been taken down, with AFP news agency reporting on the blast saying, "The Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino, the last vestige of the former president's once dominant brand in Atlantic City, is demolished with 3,000 sticks of dynamite." It's a lot of explosives. Now, as of right now, there are no plans as to what will replace this building, but hopefully it's something that can at least employ or house people. With that though, let's send it over to our favorite bro scientist, Jared Bronstein.
Science! Thanks, Johnny. What's up, everyone? Jared Science-Stein here with you guys today, and obviously we're talking about science. More specifically, we're talking about Mars, as NASA is trying to confirm whether or not life once existed on the big red planet. Science! NASA's Mars 2020 Perseverance rover is going to be their 9th mission on Mars, and as per the official press release, I quote, "is tasked with searching for telltale signs that microbial life may have lived on Mars billions of years ago. It will collect rock core samples in metal tubes, and future missions would return these samples to Earth for deeper study." Let's go, boys and girls. The team at NASA believes Jezero crater, which is where Perseverance landed, could be the spot to find evidence of previous life. 3.5 billion years ago, the area was a massive lake, and although there is no longer any water there, it's possible we see some signs of life. The rover itself is equipped with some snaggy tech that includes a master camera, as well as an X-ray beam that could search for chemical fingerprints of past life. On top of this, it's also rocking the Sherlock, which stands for the Scanning Habitable Environments with Raman and Luminescence for Organics and Chemicals, which as per NASA's report is an, I quote, "instrument that has its own laser and can detect concentrations of organic molecules and minerals that have been formed in watery environments." And even if there is no sign of life, as Ken Wilford, deputy project scientist on the mission, explained, I quote, "we have strong evidence that Jezero crater once had the ingredients for life. Even if we conclude after return sample analysis that the lake was uninhabited, we will have learned something important about the reach of life in the cosmos. Whether or not Mars was ever a living planet, it's essential to understand how rocky planets like ours form and evolve. Why did our own planet remain hospitable as Mars became a desolate wasteland?" So that's cool. We got some science! Over to Brie.
Thanks, Jared. And happy Friday, IO fam. So lately, the hashtag delete Facebook has been trending on Twitter, and some people are wondering why that is. We've seen this hashtag trending before because of backlash the company has been getting for a number of issues, from censorship to the company's CEO and his stance on hate speech on the platform. But now a new issue has arisen which is causing yet another Facebook boycott, this time coming from Australian users. Users from the land down under are boycotting Facebook after the social media company has decided to ban users and publishers from sharing news content on the platform. This decision comes after the Australian government passed a bill which proposed that tech giants like Facebook would have to pay Australian news outlets and organizations for using their content. Now, following this proposed bill, Facebook was forced to make a tough decision to either comply with the new rules outlined by this law or to stop allowing users to view content from news outlets on the platform. They chose the latter. Now users are upset with Facebook for restricting their access to not only local news, but international news as well. This means that Australian users will not be able to share or view news sources from within their area or from outside of their country, and international users will not be able to view or share any news pages that come from Australian sources. Facebook has essentially cut Australia off from the rest of the world because they refuse to comply with the government's new rules. Now the hashtags delete Facebook, Facebook we need to talk, and boycott Zuckerberg are trending, and some users are planning to fight back. Many Australian businesses who regularly use Facebook's ad program to promote their shops and services are banding together to pull paid advertising from the platform and limiting the amount of money that the company can make from them. Essentially, the idea here is that these Australian businesses are saying, hey, if you don't want to pay to allow us access to news, then we won't pay you either. Following the news of Facebook's restricted news access, they've told sources that they're using a quote, combination of technologies to restrict news content, and will put in place a reviewing process to correct any content that is taken down inadvertently. If those reviewing processes are anything like YouTube's, well, they're definitely in for some trouble. There are now multiple sources out there teaching users how to delete their Facebook accounts, and multiple people have been offering their services to delete the accounts of those who might not know how to. After hearing all of this, will you be joining the Facebook boycott and deleting your account? Tell us in the chat. Now over to Johnny for some feel-good news.
Thanks for those updates, Brie. Now let's move on to some feel-good news, shall we? After beloved Jeopardy host Alex Trebek lost his battle to pancreatic cancer back in November, he didn't just leave behind family, friends, and adoring fans. He also left an incredible legacy of compassion and philanthropy. During his life, the Canadian-born TV personality put most of his passion, time, and money into a ton of really great causes. Hoping to continue this tradition in Alex's memory, his family has decided to donate a portion of his personal wardrobe, much of which he wore on air, to the Doe Fund. The Doe Fund helps people find jobs, provides vocational training, education, and social services to more than 28,000 underserved Americans that are coping with addiction, homelessness, or a history of incarceration. The official Jeopardy Twitter account announced this very kind gesture and talked about what was included in the haul. The donation includes 14 suits, 58 dress shirts, 300 neckties, 25 polo shirts, 14 sweaters, 9 sports coats, 9 pairs of dress shoes, 15 belts, 2 parkas, and 3 pairs of dress slacks. Adding, the garments were packed by Matthew Trebek, Alex's son, who has been a supporter of the Doe Fund, and Steven Zimbelman, Jeopardy's costumer. The clothes will be distributed to participants in the Doe Fund's re-entry program, ready, willing, and able to be worn on job interviews. This will certainly help his legacy live on long after he's gone. May he now rest in peace. With that though, let's send it over to Joce Bedard filling in for Mackenzie. She's going to be filling up our tea in the spill zone regarding this recent Britney Spears drama. Take it away, Joce.
Thanks so much, Johnny. Hey guys, what's going on? I am Joce Bedard. I am filling in for Mackenzie on the spill zone, but don't worry, I will spill that tea. I know how to spill tea too, so we are gonna get right into this Britney Spears story. Britney Spears sparked speculation among her fans recently who thought she was sending secret messages in one of her pictures that she posted on Instagram. She has been making headlines lately after a controversial documentary about her came out called Framing Britney Spears. The documentary focused on her conservatorship battle against her father, which led fans to believe her recent post could have been a secret code or even a cry for help. She posted a picture of a Scrabble board filled with a bunch of words, and she captioned it, "Can you find a word that isn't actually a word? Sometimes it's fun to make ones up." She had some recognizable words on the board, but then other words that didn't make any sense. Fans started commenting that they need to crack the code and insisted that there has to be a secret message hidden within these words or letters. Now, a code has not been found, or at least one that people are confident in, or one that makes sense. So if you think you are good at this, go take a look at this picture and try and crack this code. If you find it, let me know, because I can't figure it out, but I feel like there might be one hiding in there somewhere as well. So let me know, DM me on Instagram, because I want to know first. All right, guys, that is all for me in the spill zone. I was Joce Bedard. Back to you, Johnny.
Thanks so much, Joce. With that though, let's check out some of your comments from our last weekly roundup. Emma Hayes says, TikTok user accidentally uses Gorilla Glue. No, she definitely did it on purpose. She just didn't realize the consequences. I prefer to give people the benefit of the doubt, because you never know. I think she saw it as a trend or something and then decided to try it, not thinking it all the way through, clearly. Victoria Goodman says, the money raised for Gorilla Glue lady should be used for the plastic surgeon who helped her and her ER bill, just saying. She did actually donate all of the money to his charity of choice. So, there you go. Cats Over Brat says, I want RuPaul to appear in front of Jared and say, can I get a science up in here? I love that. Maybe we can get Ru on Cameo. We'll look into that. That'd be amazing if we can get that transition. Lisa Kemper says, hair care products and Gorilla Glue are not even in the same area at any store. This is a big fact. She had to walk from one section all the way to the other. Where is your Gorilla Glue? I'm looking in this hair, but I can't find it anywhere. Have you checked hardware? Here's Chica says, these weekly roundups are awesome. We agree, and we thank you guys so much for watching. We love that you all have so much fun in the chat, and right now in the chat, actually, make sure you spam that like button, because hopefully we can get 200 likes before this video is done. But for now, that has been today's show. Big thanks to Jared Bronstein, Brie Room, Joce Bedard, and our editing god, Daniela. I've been your host, Johnny Rogers, and until next time, stay classy, YouTube. Don't miss the bloopers. Weekly roundup time, let's go. Gotta stay hydrated.
Which stands for the Scan Inhabitable Environments with Ramen and Lumen. Oh my god. Okay. Which stands for the Scan Inhabitable Environments with Ramen and Lumen. Okay. Luminescence for Organics and Chemicals. What a name. I get why they're calling it the Sherlock.
Facebook and other places. No. That's not what that says.
Wow, be nice if my throat would work.